Hi, welcome back. It is still Blossoms of the Savannah, and this is essay number 5 in our order of procession from where we had started. It is still KCSA English Literature Paper 101 Stock 03. The year is 2022. We are still looking at the projections, possible exam style questions, and also their exam style responses. Responses that probably meet the examiner's expectations. If you've not subscribed and you've come across this work as your first time, do so. Subscribe because we'll be updating, we'll be uploading, and for you to be notified of future updates or uploads, you need to stay hooked. Welcome. Here is an exam style question. Betrayal causes pain and strain in the family. Using illustrations from Henry Ole Kulet's Blossoms of the Savannah, write an essay to validate these statements. Again, betrayal causes pain and strain in the family. Using illustrations from Henry Ole Kulet's Blossoms of the Savannah, write an essay to validate these statements. These are our sample response, good students. Good families are built on trust and love. That is our topical sentence. When we fail or desert our family members, we cause them untold grief. In Blossoms of the Savannah, Taiyo and Resian suffer when their parents betray them. Ole Kaelo betrays his daughter Resian when he irrationally mistreats her for no apparent reason, causing her untold grief. He fails his daughter because he detests her right from birth. He feels cheated by nature since he had been prayed for at least 3 boys, but as fate would have it, ends up with the 2 girls. Ole Kaelo loves his first daughter, Taiyo, but hates her younger sister Resian. He was utterly disappointed when she turned out to be a girl, when he prayed for a healthy baby boy to carry the Kaelo's name to the next generation. He is anchored by her body size and intends to dispose of her as soon as possible. Resian feels betrayed since her father intimidates her and her mother fails to protect her from the provocations. Her only reprieve is Taiyo, who gives her a shoulder to cry on. The girls enjoy their father's absence more than his company. Resian wonders why her father despises her so much but does not hate Taiyo. She ponders whether it was her fault. Her father wants her to marry a shady crook named Oloisidori by force. She argues that if her father respected her, he would have listened when she said she disliked Oloisidori. Resian knows that her father hates her, but is shocked that he could go as far as selling her. This betrayal causes Resian misery since she was a child and she grows up to be sullen, bewildered, and resentful. She even thinks there is a curse for being born a woman. Her nature is darkened with melancholy. The frequent tongue-clashing and harshly impatient nature from her father towards her contribute to the tempestuous disposition. She is haunted by nagging complaints and never-ending unhappiness. Sometimes she sits alone in the biting cold, brooding over her father's inexplicable, hateful nature. Her sadness is compounded by the fact that he intends to forcefully marry her off to a monster she hates, for his business venture to thrive. The pain pushes her to age until she contemplates drowning herself in a Sila river in pursuit of peace. Surely, when father hates his own daughter this much, the result is untold suffering. That is found on page 9 to 10, 34, page 172 and 73, from page 205 to 210. Mama Milanoi betrays both Resian and Taiyo when she chooses to remain indifferent and aloof to her own daughters, causing them pain. At first, She has a strange premonition since her daughters are uncircumcised, yet the culture demands otherwise. She is thrown into a conundrum of either forcing the girls to undergo FGM and losing their faith, love, and confidence, or refusing to yield to tradition at the risk of being labeled a pariah. Instead of fighting to protect her daughters when their father plans to circumcise them, she subserviently bows to pressure and foolishly asserts that culture is everything and it rules their lives. Now that FGM had reared its ugly head, she knows that it was going to wreak havoc in the innocent girls' young lives. She also knows that her daughters do not expect their own parents to subject them to the excruciating pain and turmoil of FGM. It will be mental torture for them. However, she remains aloof and selfish simply to protect her position as a dutiful wife. She concurs with Taiyo Botor that Resian has Olkwenyi, which can be cured through FGM. She knows that FGM would terribly hurt the girls, but she fails to protect them. She kept lying to the girls and reassuring them that nothing sinister was in the offing as they prepared to circumcise them. She loves with her husband and Oluzidori as they discuss Resian's fate, but a feeling of betrayal lingers in her heart. Mama Milanoi fails Resian and Taiyo since she abandons them at the time of need. Taiyo and Resian are angry at their mother and term her as an example of a wife they never wanted to be. She had been held captive by her husband and could not express her own opinion, unlike Nabaru and Minik and Ngoitoi. Resian is forced to run away from home through a harrowing journey, but Taiyo pays the ultimate price when she undergoes the excruciating pain of FGM. Mama Milanoi tricks her daughter Taiyo into circumcision, causing her pain and regret. She calls Taiyo to greet 3 women visitors from a village called Esoit. They say Resian had sought refuge there after running away from home. They need Taiyo to accompany them since Resian was on a hunger strike and had not eaten anything for 3 days. They claim they pitied Resian and claim she had mentioned Taiyo who could persuade her to eat and save her life. Since Taiyo is caring and knows Resian depends on her for protection, she buys the story. She is happy since her mother assures her that their father had vowed never to marry them by force to any man. This is the height of deceit and betrayal from her mother. At Esoit, there is no sign of Resian. Taiyo is abandoned in a dingy hut, and at dawn, she is dragged out, drenched with 20 liters of cold water, wrestled to the ground, and forcibly circumcised. Her screams of terror and pain fall on deaf ears. She faints and only gains consciousness 2 days later, feeling sore, bitter, and angry. She even imagines that she had died. She is later rescued by Minik and Ngotoi but still suffers bouts of pain. Intensely painful headaches and weakness. It is difficult to come to terms with the forcible circumcision. Taiyo and Resian blame their father for wanting to please Olosduri at the detriment of his own daughters. Their mother does not escape their eye. They think she is the embodiment of a bad wife and mother. Ole Kaelo betrays Resian when he agrees to marry her off against her will to a wanton criminal, Olosidori causing her untold misery. Olosidori is a rich man who helps Ole Kaelo by financing his business in Nasila and assists him in acquiring government contracts to supply agricultural inputs. He then demands to marry Resian. Ole Kaelo had been retrenched from his job at Agribix Limited in Nakuru and had decided to relocate to his native Nasila to venture into business. Ole Kaelo's mentor, Soin Ole Supeyo, warns him that Olozidori was a corrupt criminal, hyena, and a randy god. He cautions him to keep the amorous man away from daughters. He does not heed the warning. Ole Kaila knows that it is his duty to protect and educate his daughters, and it pains him to hand them over to a man they don't love. He foresees them crying fondly and questioning the sincerity of his love and the reason of his betrayal. However, he still chooses to betray and sacrifice Resian. He accepts cash and other gifts from Olosidori. While Mama Milanoi feels that they were betraying Resian, Ole Kaila feels happy and satisfied, especially after visiting her potential husband's palatial homes. Resian was speechless when it dawned on her that her father had sold her to Olosidori. She feels it was a curse being born a woman in Asila. She knew he disliked her, but never thought her own father could sell her. She cries in anger and outrage and accuses him of betrayal and hatred. She says it was better to die than marry her father's monstrous friend. He even slaps her with the view of intimidating her into bowing to pressure of his demands. Resian leaves his office and heads to Nasila River, where she contemplates suicide. She instead chooses to flee from home with the help of Olarinkoi and embarks on a harrowing, daunting journey to Untare Naju. Not knowing what awaited her, Resian surely suffers in the wake of her father's betrayal. Ole Kaeleo betrays his daughter Taiyo when he fails to support her musical aspirations. Taiyo loses trust in her father when he denies her permission to attend an extravaganza organized by an FM radio station. Taiyo loves music. She has excelled in music festivals and been awarded many times. Broadcasting stations noticed her talent and encouraged her to pursue a career in music. Even her parents applauded her on many occasions, so she did not expect them to have any objections if she pursued the desire of her heart as a future occupation. An FM station offered her a chance to attend a music extravaganza in Mombasa and attend a short course later. Her father refuses to grant her permission, claiming rather absurdly that performing for money was akin to harlotry. When her father denies her permission, it leaves a wound in her heart. Lastly, Ole Kailo betrays his daughter Resian when he refuses to send her to university. Resian is determined to join Egerton University. When they are about to relocate to Nasila from Nakuru, she tells Taiyo that she does not want to work at their father's shop. She wanted to join Egerton University to study veterinary medicine and be called Dr. Resian Kailo. She requests her sister Taiyo to persuade him to allow them to return to Nakuru and enroll at the university in order to avoid being subjected to outdated traditions. She is not interested in Pamwat's cultural lessons. She only wants formal education, which is universally beneficial to all. Her only hope was placed on Taiyo speaking to their father, as their mother proved to be either impassioned or unwilling. She, however, chooses to remain optimistic, envisioning herself in Egerton University donning academic regalia. She rejects Olusidori's gift and hands them back, since her only ambition is to pursue university education. Her father refuses to allow her to join university. He intends to marry her off to Olusidori, a man Resian deems a monster. She refers to him contemptuously as Oloshushi, that will be in a reckless person, and Olbitir, a warthog. Resian assertively declares that even if she was over 80 years old, she would still join university. It is painful for her to struggle, run away from home, suffer in Quito in the hands of callous brute Olaringoi. Before she finally joins university, courtesy of total strangers Nabaru and Minik, she finds solace in the distant lands of Ntare Naju when her own parents betray and hurt her. That is on pages 4, 1833, 58, 73, 89, 196, 207, and 210. In brief, good students, when family members fail or desert us, or abandoners, we suffer immense pain or hardship. This again marks the end of a very long and very interesting summary right up there. Our response to this particular exam style question, where when family members fail or desert us, really we do suffer immense pain and hardship. And what's more, if you've not subscribed, I just want to echo this one so that to keep you updated before you sit for your exams. You need to line up yourself with the work, the areas that you feel like maybe you were not clear on, and especially as far as English literature is concerned. And personally, I want to say that I wish you success in your endeavors. Good day again.